Well, good morning everyone and welcome back. Cumberland Outdoorsman out here in the woods doing a little bit of mushroom hunting. Looking for some golden chanterelles, and I found a few, but not many. They're kind of few and far between. I think I'm spotting one right over there, but if I find any more, I'll keep you posted. But I was making my way up this little valley right here and found something kind of neat. Let me show you what I found here. I was looking around because I normally find them right in here. But right over here, in this little dip right here, ran across this deer skull. That's not the big 10-point that I saw the opening day of rifle season with my grandson. That was a much larger deer, but that's a pretty good one. I'm not sure if I'd pass him up, especially if I were bow hunting. I'm going to look right up here on top of this hill. Right up in there, I've found chanterelles in the past. And usually right in the middle of the pathway. So let's go check it out. Turkey scratchings in here. Right up here, right there. That's done fairly recently. They've been all up through here. Right there. That's turkey right there. Look here. That was done in the last couple of days. They've been in here. And I know because I found those feathers right there too. That's wild turkey feathers. So I think they're starting to come back to these woods. Just not seeing any mushrooms. Normally I find them right in here. What we really need is some more rain. I mean, the ground is fairly moist. There should be more mushrooms up, but a couple of good days' rain would really help things out here. I'm just not seeing any. I like the sign that I'm seeing here in the woods though, because this is definitely turkey scratching right here. But anyway, I've got a few more places in mind that I'd like to check out. So follow along. Let's go and see if we can find any more mushrooms. Okay guys, now we're starting to find some of these chanterelles here. I mean, they're all over the place in here. Pretty good batch of them. And I'm sure there's more over there. Let's go take a look. There's some here. Oh yeah. All through here. Like I say, I found these year after year. All kinds of good mushrooms here. A lot of them are really fresh because of the recent rains we've had. A lot of little ones in here. Some have been here for a while. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and gather these up and head on back, I guess, because I kind of missed breakfast this morning. I've been up since 5 o'clock and got out here early. I wanted to beat the heat, you know. So I wanted to get out here and collect these mushrooms and get a good batch of them for my mother. She's wanting some as well. So let me go ahead and get these up and I'll be back with you. Well, folks, this is my second day out here in the woods mushroom hunting, and I found another dead deer. I don't know what's going on. I think somebody is either shooting deer and not recovering them, because the deer I'm finding are from the past deer season. These are not anything recent, or really recent. They've been laying here all winter. Here I found a hip bone and some vertebrae. Came down through here and there's some bones, some leg bones. And then I came down through here. There's some more leg bones there. And then I look up and there's another deer skull with a pretty good sized rack on it. Get a closer look here. I don't believe these deer are dying from disease, or at least I don't think so, because the racks look real healthy, the bones look healthy. I think what's going on is somebody is shooting these deer and not recovering them. And I know I didn't shoot at this deer because I haven't even seen this deer. I mean, I've seen some nice deer, you know, some pretty good sized ones, just like this one here. But I don't remember seeing this deer. Anyway, I'm going to move on further. There's a big patch of chanterelles that I used to find years ago, and I'm pretty sure it'll be loaded in there, so we'll slip over there and see what we can find. But what are the chances of finding two big trophy racks like that 2 days in a row, you know? Anyway, that shows you the caliber of deer that we've got right here locally. I've been finding some big rubs and some scrapes all along here, so you know, I know these deer are coming through here. And I harvested a nice 8-point right up there last year with a muzzle loader, but not quite like this one. That's a heck of a deer right there. That one I found yesterday was quite a deer. Whole bunch of them growing right over there. Up top as well. Wow, look here, folks. Chanterelles all over the place. Boy, there's a giant. Well folks, I've had a pretty good chanterelle mushroom season. It hasn't been the best, I've seen better, but pretty good. Last year I found oyster mushrooms on this down tree here, and this year they're back. You know, not as many as there were last year, but there's some back. And some of these I'm going to go ahead and harvest because these are choice edibles as well. This is what they look like when they're fresh. They're really good, and they're served in fine restaurants as well. Go ahead and put these in the bag. And I'll go ahead and gather these up, and then I'll be back with you. Well folks, I had a pretty good day in the woods. I've been out hunting mushrooms because we had a recent rainfall, and this is what I gathered. A pretty good batch of fresh wild chanterelle mushrooms. These are my absolute favorite mushrooms, and got a few other varieties in here, like that one right there. That's called Old Man of the Woods. They don't look like much, but they're a choice edible. Got a few other varieties in there as well. And to top it all off, I got these fresh oyster mushrooms. These are also a choice edible, you know. But before you go out in the woods and gather these mushrooms, be absolutely certain of what you're gathering before you eat it. You know, I'm absolutely 100% sure before I pick a mushroom what it is that I'm gathering. And you should do the same. Get you a good field guide, or go online, or if you can, get with an expert on mushrooms so that you can positively identify any mushrooms that you intend to eat. That's my best recommendation for you. But if you find good ones to eat, like what I've got here, they're really, really delicious. Now in regards to these deer racks that I found, what I did is I took photographs of each site where I found these deer racks or deer heads, and I got in touch with the state agency here in Tennessee, and they got me in touch with a game officer. I called him, and then I sent him photographs of both of these deer, and in return he called me back with a confirmation number. It's a salvage number really for anything you might want to salvage in the woods, and it's really the law here. I know it might sound kind of overbearing in a way, but it's the law, you know. And anyway, I wrote the numbers down, and I got a confirmation for both of these skulls. The same goes for any deer that you might find on the side of the road. You know, if you see a freshly killed deer during the deer season especially, you need to call it in before you load that deer in your truck, because if you get caught without a confirmation number, you might get a citation for it. So it's best to call in. Doesn't cost anything, and it won't count against your annual harvest. And I was sure to ask that question of the game officer that I spoke to, you know, will these deer heads count against my annual harvest? And he said no, that's a separate category. These are considered salvaged, and any deer that you shoot are actual harvest records. This one here didn't turn out quite as white as that other one. It's still got some staining on it, as you can see right there. Some bugs crawling on it, but still, you know, I just thought it was a shame to just leave these in the woods and let them rot away. I hope I don't find any more, because I think it's an awful waste of a fine game animal to just die and rot away like that. I would much rather have harvested these with a gun or a bow, or let my grandson harvest one, you know. So at the very least, I was able to salvage the skull and the horns. You know, like I say, it's just an awful waste, an awful shame for all that meat to rot away, because we love deer meat so much. You know, we love the steaks and the roasts and the stews and everything else. And that's the #1 consideration that you should have if you go deer hunting. But like I said, you know, it would be a shame to leave a rack like that laying in the woods to just rot away. So I thought I'd do what I could to try to save them and let you know how legally to salvage these deer. Now this one here, I'll give you a few quick measurements. The inside spread on this one here is, let's see, inside on this one is right at 17 inches. 17 inch on the inside. He's got some really good brow tines. 4-inch brow tines. 4.5 on this side. A little bit longer, but it's a pretty even rack, you know. 5 by 5. And then this one here is clearly a larger deer. Got heavier rack. And this one here is 18 1/8 inside spread. That beats anything that I've ever harvested. So that's a bigger deer than, you know, than I've ever taken with a gun or a bow. What a shame. And he's been running around on my property the whole time. I found him right on the edge of my property. I encountered the hip bone and then the rib bones and leg bones and everything else, and then that skull was laying there. Never saw that deer before. I would say once a deer gets of this age here, he's probably pretty much nocturnal. But as you can tell, both of those racks are very well developed, and I don't believe that they died of any kind of disease. I think they were shot and just weren't recovered. Could have been hit by a car too. Just hard to say. But this one here, you know, was close to the bones, the carcass, and the other one, I don't know where the carcass is. I never did run across that. I just found the skull with the rack intact like that. So anyway, folks, now you know to check your state regulations, you know, in case they have any kind of requirements for picking up a deer skull. Doesn't matter if it's a doe without a rack, you know, it's still part of an animal and they need to document it. Well, anyway, folks, like I said, I want to preserve both of these deer racks in the memory of a good mushroom hunting week that I've had, and I'll put them on some nice wooden plaques and preserve them that way. Now, in regards to the mushroom hunting, I think there's going to be some more rain coming this week, so I fully expect more mushrooms to pop up, and I'll be going out in the woods and gathering some more. My granddaughter went with me the other day, and I've got that video put away. I'll be sharing that with you as well, and hopefully we'll get another good batch. I'm really looking forward to that. I just love this time of year. I need to get out and do some fishing. You know, I hadn't had my boat in the water yet, and I haven't done any stream fishing. And here it is, the middle of July already. And there's a few streams that I want to explore. I know there's some smallmouth and some rock bass just waiting for me to catch them. And it's just killing me, folks. So I need to get my GoPros charged up and get out there in them streams and do some stream fishing. You know, it's just something I absolutely love doing. And with this hot weather, it's really nice to get in that cool water and wade in those streams and do some stream fishing. So with that being said, let me remind you, if you like to go hunting, fishing, camping, shooting, hiking, whatever your outdoor pursuit happens to be, I hope you enjoy it as much as I do. But also remember, hit the like button, smash that bell icon, and subscribe. That way you'll know when more videos like this one will be coming your way. So until next time, this is a Cumberland Outdoorsman wishing you well. Get out there and enjoy the great outdoors. Take care of yourselves, and God bless. I'll be seeing you.